everyone, and welcome to today's episode. This is episode 33, I think, and I'm Marlene. This is my making podcast. Here I share mostly about my knitting, but also about my sewing and spinning. And I've got kind of like a fun episode planned for you guys today. It's gonna be a sit down portion, but then also have some vloggy aspects in it. And I'd say without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's talk about what I'm wearing. I am wearing one of my finished objects, which is my ruby vest. It's by a designer called Sid Graham, and I bought the pattern off of Etsy. I've been following that designer for a couple of months, ever since last year, I think, and the idea of like a quilted vest has been kind of stuck in my mind for quite a bit of time. And so I really wanted to, this was kind of the project that I had in mind when I started sewing last year. This was kind of my goal, to be able to make a quilted vest. Now I have a million more goals, as you do, but yeah, I finished it, and I'm incredibly proud of myself for having finished this project. I'll insert some pictures because now I'm just sitting here. You can't really see more, and I can't really get up because the setup won't allow it, but I'll insert some footage, maybe some video, and of course pictures, so you can see it's reversible. It has ties that you can see, and it's hand quilted. The pattern asks you to machine quilt it, but I didn't have the right, so it felt quite squished. One of the challenges that I kind of created for myself with this project is that I used two very different kinds of fabric and then a batting, which was also the first time that I did that in a garment. I had sewed myself a sewing machine cover with batting as well, but yeah, this time around it was for a garment, and that just held its own challenges for me. So on the inside, I'm gonna just open it up so you can see, there's a Merchant Mills woolen fabric, and then on the outside this is a gingham linen fabric. This fabric was kindly gifted to me by Pigeon and Wishes last year, I think. I was working with their buttons before, and they saw me post about them and offered to send me some goodies. And when they realized that I was also on my sewing journey, they also sent some fabrics, which was really kind of them. And this is actually my third project that I have completed with their fabrics that they sent over, and I really like all of them. I've been wearing my rosary shorts or rosary pajama pants. That was my, I think, second garment knit. I've been wearing as a pajama all these last couple of days this week. And the only thing I've yet to kind of really wear out is my top that I made in like yellow gingham, just because I don't really have a cardigan or something that really suits the yellow, and so I'll have to wear it on a day where it's actually warm enough to just wear a top, and we haven't had one of those in Germany yet. Or we had one, and I was wearing my next finished object that I'll be talking about in a second. So I've combined this vest today with my Not Perfect Linen jumpsuit that you can kind of see poke out underneath it. That brings me to the thing that I wanted to remember, and that is that I'll be announcing the winners of my Not Perfect Linen collaboration giveaway at the end of this episode. This jumpsuit was part of that collaboration, and so they gifted this to me. I'm wearing it in this beautiful bronze brown color, and or kind of even golden color, and it's in the size medium large. I actually forgot what kind of size I made for the vest, but I think it was size 14. Yeah. Okay, let's get into my finished objects. My first finished object is kind of tucked underneath all of my other finished objects, but I'll free it. This is my ruby vest. It's hung up for the moment, and I'm excited to wear it again and again this summer. I've actually been wearing it quite a bit already. I'm very proud of the kind of, it looks really, I think it looks well made, and I'm really proud of having tackled some of the initial difficulties that I had with counting the stitches in the lace pattern. I kind of slipped in the chart once and had to rip back a bit. This isn't a difficult lace pattern at all. It was just my mistake for kind of slipping in the pattern. And at the kind of the moment where I realized how it all worked out, and when I kind of worked myself into the pattern a bit, I was really easygoing, and then there was lots of stockinette for easy kind of conversation knitting. The yarn is Pernell by notPERFECTLINEN. notPERFECTLINEN is a French brand that I actually talked to the owner Mathilde at Swiss Yarn Festival, and she kindly gifted 4 skeins of this Pernell to me when I was trying to pay for it. She wouldn't let me, which is really kind of her. I would say this is also due to the fact that we're at that point already thinking about getting into the shop, and we're talking to her about this. So keep in mind that this is kind of also was also a way for us to test out the yarn and see if we wanted it in the shop. We wanted it in the shop, and we actually ordered it, and now it is available at Strickverliebt. So if you want to check it out, and you're I would say we also ship to the US, but more so we ship to addresses in the EU usually. But yeah, if you want to check this out, it is a really, really special yarn, and we're actually the first shop like in like brick and mortar shop that has Pernell in their in their shop, which I think is fantastic. It is really cooling to the touch, and I enjoyed working with it. It is quite dry feeling, but even after the first wash, it kind of softened quite a bit, and as you can see, it is really, really drapey, which I love. So moving on to the second finished object, which are my kind of just regular old 2x2 rib vanilla socks, I would say. They're made in a yak, and I can't wait to wear them. Actually, they are so soft. I got this yarn at the Westerwälder Wollfest in Germany, I think in September, just right before starting working at the shop. We had kind of like a little adventure, all of the people working at the shop, and we were able to get to know each other a bit through that, which was nice. And yeah, so I bought this yarn there. They actually took quite a while, but I was knitting on them throughout most of these last 2 festivals that I went to, and I actually think they'll look super kind of classic. Like, I can't wait to put them on and then put my Birkenstock like Boston like slippers over. I think it'll give like grandpa like chic. I don't know why, but like imagining this a bit crumpled up, and like I don't know why, but I can't wait to wear them. Actually kept them nicely in shape for this video, and I'm really excited to see, or excited not so much, but we'll see how they kind of wear, because they're so soft. I wouldn't be surprised if they pilled quite a bit. But yeah, so some socks for me, and then some socks for Hannes. I've actually already kind of put them in their gift packaging, but I'll open it for you guys to see. I'll give them to him in a couple of days for our 5-year anniversary, and these are them. This is made up in the Olivia and Oliver fiber colorway feather. They look huge. They're like the size of my arm, but they'll fit. He has actually tried them on. I couldn't keep the secret, and yeah. I told him about them. I was actually surprised he didn't realize I was making huge socks, which really wouldn't fit my feet. And he wasn't realizing that. I mean, I guess he's not that much into knitting as I am. And another finished object that I just finished, and I'll include some footage of me working on it and also talking a bit more about my hibernating or ripped out works in progress in my knitting. I won't be sharing all of them today just because I feel like it'll be so much more positive if I found a solution and recast them on and then show you guys. I also want to keep this quite brief with the added vlog footage. I'm aiming for like an hour of footage and not much more, so we'll see if that works out. But I just finished this and I'm super proud of it. These are the weekend chore shorts by Maxi Sewing Club, and I just finished them and they're so cute. They have pockets on each of the sides, back and front side, but you can also see that they're kind of continuous on the side. I can't tell you guys how proud I am about, or like just for being able to have kind of finished another sewing project. I think both of these combined have kind of taught me so much about sewing, and they actually took quite a few hours these last 3 days, just with like preparing the fabric and cutting the pattern, cutting the fabric, and then sewing it all. I really took my time with it, and my free day yesterday was really helpful for that. But yeah, I used a linen fabric that my friend and I got from just like a regular kind of online linen shop. It's not one that I have heard about before, but I'll link it. I think it's called Linen Boutique. And it's a German website. And yeah, we got this. Obviously I still have some marks on them where I used my sewing chalk, but yeah, I can't wait to wear them tomorrow before washing them for the first time, because obviously the new finished object feeling now I have, not only with my knitting but also with my sewing. And yeah, I hope I mentioned everything. If I get to wear them and kind of dress them up and take a picture before editing and finishing up this video, which I should, so I'll have some time to wear them and then take some pictures and put them in here. That was a very long-winded way of saying just that. But yeah, so you should be able to see some pictures here. There was one last step that I didn't do, so I don't have my label in here yet. And then also it told me to sew over the elastic a few times. I have not done that because I thought with like wearing it would settle a bit better. I just wanted it to be like very much distributed over the whole thing before I kind of fixated it in some points. I'm incredibly proud of this project and this one as well, because I think that I have learned so much. I've proven myself that I can be patient, which is not one of my strong suits, but which is a good like audiobook or a podcast on my ears and just breathing and then reading through the instructions again and again. I actually made kind of a list with inches converted into centimeters, because I always get frustrated and confused when it says a quarter inch. I'm like, what the heck is a quarter inch? Because I didn't like grow up with it. Like I have no kind of gauging on what 1 3/4 inches is, and if a tutorial or a pattern talks about that, I thought it'd be easier to just have like my little thing to refer to, being like, oh, 3/4 inches this and that, or like 1/2 inch is I think 1.237 centimeters. So it's really confusing. But yeah, I did it, I made it, and it's something that I'm really excited to wear. I just put it on for a second right after finishing it, but I'm just in awe of what I can do that's not just knitting, and it has made my Me Made May very special indeed, because I'm actually able to wear full outfits now without knitting pants, which is not something I'm interested in doing right now. So yeah, I can even see this being my outfit that I'm wearing tomorrow. That'd be cute, right? Okay, if you have any more questions about any of the projects that I just mentioned, the knitting projects at least, I'll have in my Ravelry, and you can have a look there. My next two projects, actually, because of the many projects that I'm currently kind of frogging, or not sure, kind of building in mistakes and then realizing a bit after, and then having to rip back again. My shawls and scarves are not there yet, kind of, and I've put my caramel sweater into the naughty corner, kind of. I'm really not sure what to do with it. I just told myself, just work on something. I'm going to show you next. Work on something you really want to get finished and wear because you love it. It's going well. It's just, you just have to knit through it. And then work on something that is kind of like color therapy. So my fun knit has been my Sweet Shop blanket. And I've actually added three squares just yesterday. I usually don't do like more than one, or no, I don't usually do more than one square. I haven't woven in the ends. That's something I'm gonna do this afternoon. But yeah, it's taking shape. This is stretching really badly if I'm just holding it on a few points. So I'm trying to show you without kind of stretching it out too badly. These three colors I've just added. I think the latter ones are both from the Endless Autumn collection from Olivia and Oliver Fibers. And yeah, I'm just kind of excited to work on it more. I think I'm just gonna do a row of colors and then kind of sew in the ends. I've been doing one square at a time, but I think I'm just gonna add a whole row of colors and then sew them in. That is actually made possible by Hannes and I kind of winding up tons of mini skeins on my birthday. So I have like a whole kind of wicker basket kind of full with minis, and I can just work through them. I don't have to think about them. I put them in an order that I kind of liked. I laid it all out, then we wound them, and now I can just work on it. Like, don't have to think about it too much. Really enjoy this. But since I've been talking about this for practically months now, I don't want to get into too many more details and show you my other kind of focus project, which is the Esther jacket by Petite Knit. I'm knitting this with a alpaca wool yarn held double. It's a sport yarn held double. I'm using the recommended needle size, and I think I'm making size medium, which should give me a positive ease of 20 centimeters. I love this. Even with like the golden kind of brownish color that I'm wearing now, I can't wait to have this as like the outermost layer in spring and autumn, and then maybe wear it in winter as like instead of like a big sweater or something. I don't really have to say much more about it. I love the classic design on it. My goal is to finish the body within the next week. I think I'll actually have to finish another 3 or 2.5 of these motifs before starting the ribbing. And then it'll be arms and collar or button band. I've actually been thinking about which buttons to add, and ever since I thought about this project for the first time, I thought it would look kind of cool with toggle buttons. I've actually been waiting for a couple of months for them to arrive at the shop now, and now I don't know which wood color to choose. We have 3 different wooden options, and I've done a poll, and I think I'm leaning towards one, but then the other one is also interesting to me. So really don't know what I'll choose. Maybe in the end I'll go for like a round button because I can't choose between the toggle options. I'll wait to see. I'll finish it because I think I can then maybe like just provisionally sew on one of the buttons and just look how I feel with it. I don't want it to look like a Bavarian, like traditional suit, kind of like a Tracht in German. I think it can tend to go that way if you're using toggle buttons quite easily. So it'll look a bit like, yeah, not modern enough for my taste. But we'll see. I could order the buttons that Petite Knit use, but I think for such a beautiful, like 100% natural fiber, using a plastic button would kind of be a bit of a shame on it. I'm not sure why I feel like that, but I think this needs kind of like a natural button as well. Yeah, I don't know how and why that thought came to my head, but you'll definitely see at some point what I choose to do. And other than that, I really enjoy working on it. It's a bit tough on the hands because it is a, let me see, it's a 5mm needle. I'm using my Chaogu bamboo needles, and it's just the 2 sport weight yarns Hill Double. It's quite a tough, quite a tight gauge. I like working on it, and it's kind of like getting to the next stage. It's kind of like potato chippy, if you will, but yeah, it can also be a bit tough, and I'll have to take a break on work on something else then. But yeah, these are my 2 kind of fun and want to get ahead with this project to wear it. I'm not sure if I'll be actually able to wear it within, because like it's getting really warm now. A few like very nice summery days that we're getting now. But I mean, in the evenings or maybe at home, if I'm a bit chilly, I can maybe throw it over my outfit. We'll have to see. It's not going to be very seasonal, but I'm also not focusing a ton on like being super seasonal. I'm just focusing on what I really want to make. And that is a great segue into into the next thing that I wanted to show you, which is a swatch. I have swatched for the Tessellated Cardigan by Andrea Mari, and this is my swatch. I am yet to take measurements of this, but this looks pretty bang on 10 by 10 centimeters or 4 by 4 inches, and I'll see if I hold a measuring tape to it, but I think it should be fine. I'm really proud of my my floats actually, and I am using these 3 yarns. 2 of these I bought from my the shop that I work at. It's the Ökologist Werktagsold by Kamarose, and then Earth Yarn Spiral Grain Light Worsted. And then I'm also using the Odang by Farmer's Daughter Fiber, and these are my 3 yarns. And these 3 yarns together make, it's really difficult to hold them. These 3 yarns make this swatch, and I'm super happy with it. I think I'll cast this on whenever I've reached the end of my body in my other cardigan, so I'll have a body and then sleeves to work on. I'm also planning on doing 2 summery knits in the next couple of weeks and months. I'm planning on doing the which one is that? The Palm Tea by Lene Holme Samso, because I love the experience of making the peacock tea so much. I got a 100% linen yarn from our shop, which is the Alfama Fusarios Quattro. 100% organic linen. It's beautiful. It's in a light kind of like khaki color. I'll insert a picture. I'll do that as part of kind of like a little knit along. I'll share more about that knit along in the next episode. And then I'm also planning on doing one of my my favorite things, camisoles, that I've been planning on making for years, and that's the camisole number 7. And with that and my 2 shawls slash my 1 shawl, which is hand spun, and then my small fry scarf, both are in timeout at the moment, or in the frogging pond. I think I'll have enough projects to do for the next couple of months. I am looking over to my Jamesons of Shetland yarn and my Boracow plans, but as much as I want to make it, it's so out of season that I feel like all of these other things I'll be able to kind of make work for this season. So cardigans are really helpful if it gets chilly at work or inside or in the evenings. My blanket, it's just a fun thing I'll have in the house. And then the t-shirts and tops I can actually wear in the summer, whereas the cowl I think would be something really nice to make right at the beginning or just before the autumn period. I'm not sure if I can contain myself to wait that long, or if I'll have to swatch at least or start the project, but I want to finish some of my other plans before doing that, because I really want to hold myself to that idea of finishing some of my really long-standing wish list knits. So I hope I've mentioned everything. This is kind of a fast run through all of the things that I've been knitting on or finishing lately. Lastly, I have a small little acquisition. This was also something that we have at the shop. It's hedgehog fiber sock yarn, and I never bought one of those. This is Lone Wolf, and I don't know why, but I completely fell in love with this colorway, and I couldn't keep myself from buying one of them. So this is added to my sock yarn stash that I've actually been knitting from quite a bit. I've just finished pairs 5 and 6 of my 9 pairs of socks from stash that I wanted to make this year, and I've also accomplished 5 of my make 9, and this is at the beginning of May. So I'll have the mini mock neck to make still, the Amy slipover, the Lana vest, and then a adventy scrappy northeasterly blanket. I know I've been really wanting to cast that on, but I think I'm okay with 2 scrappy blankets at the moment. I know probably everyone thought that when I was saying I'll cast on a 3rd kind of blanket. Everyone's like, shouldn't you just knit on the 2 that you already have on your needles? But yeah, I'll cast it on when I want to cast it on. But right now I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'll insert the winners of the Not Perfect Linen giveaway. Thank you so much for your response to that video, the styling portion. I really enjoyed filming that. It was a bit of a new thing for me. It's something I wanted to do for quite a bit of time, and the collaboration with Not Perfect Linen really gave it kind of a nice theme, it was thematical in the sense that I really enjoyed. I'll hope to be making more content like that, especially because of your really positive feedback, so thank you so much. Congrats to the 2 winners of €100 gift cards to the Not Perfect Linen shop. I truly love their pieces, and I was really happy to be working with them. I enjoyed the pieces that I bought for myself, and then the ones they sent me, for example that one I'm wearing today. So yeah, I think it was nice to keep it quite short. I'll add some of the footage that I've been taking these last couple of days of my making, and I hope you enjoyed that. I'm also gonna be talking a bit more about the things that I have frogged, or what I thought about them, in another little kind of clip that I took, and I'll add that. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did so, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any further videos that I put up. Either just sit down podcasts or vlogs whenever I get to any more kind of fiber festivals. Okay, take care of yourselves and those around you, and I hope you get a bit of knitting time this week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Hey folks, so it's the afternoon of May the 9th. Today is a bank holiday here in Germany, and that means that I'm not working at the shop. I still have to do some admin work today at home, and I'm thinking about doing, thinking about filming a vlog though. Oh no, not a vlog, I'm vlogging now. I'm thinking about filming an episode. Though I'm really low energy today, and I have done quite a bit of housework. I'm doing laundry today. Hannes has made us some wonderful lunch, some asparagus and potatoes for lunch, and now he is off to his late shift. Unfortunately, he's working all throughout the week, so a 7-day week, which is always challenging, but I think we at least get Monday off together. So I'm not working at the shop today and tomorrow, but on Saturday again, and I have some plans for working for YouTube on those days that I'm not at the shop. But I also have major making plans. So I've just cut out a pattern that I have been planning on sewing yesterday evening, and then this morning I cut out the fabric, and I'm really looking forward to sewing that up because I feel like I have learned so much within my first, I think 4 garment patterns that I've now made. I've also made scrunchies and project bags last year, but when it comes to actual garments, I've made 4 now, and with each garment, as you would expect, I've learned more stuff. And yeah, I think that I can actually kind of take on the things that I have learned and avoid some of the mistakes that I made in the past. And so this is getting more and more enjoyable. The more I learn, the more I know, the more troubleshooting I can do on my own. And I'll have to get to my milk because it's nearly boiling over. See you in a minute. So yeah, that is my weekend. Is it weekend short pants? It's a short pants by the Maxi Sewing Club, and I'm making that in a checkered linen. And then so I've just made my coffee in a etincelle ceramique mug. Hopefully you can see. It's by a very talented Canadian designer, I think they are. Or rather a ceramicist, ceramic artist, I would say. Let me scooch a bit away from the camera so you'll see me better. I'm desperate for like a cut of my bangs. They are getting a bit too long. And like I said, I don't have any makeup on. I've kind of practically fell out of bed, put on any clothes that I could find, which is funny because these last week I've been really mindful of my outfits since it's Me Made May, and I've really been thinking about what to wear and how I actually style the things that I own, and how in and of itself that kind of creates a kind of capsule. Not that I am a person who would ever be kind of could really consider having a capsule wardrobe, because I just like playing around way too much and knitting way too much. But yeah, I like the kind of reoccurring themes in the outfits and the colors and everything. It's just made me feel really good about what I've made and what I'm making. It also made me challenge and think about some of the things that kind of have changed about my making and how I'm thinking about it now. I have been working on my caramel sweater a bit, the one that I'm making with the Coast to Coast Yarn Co. speckled yarn called The Usual, a yarn which I adore. I love the colorway, and I thought that it was a really good match with the trench coat soft silk mohair, but for some reason it's like the pooling, speckling. I've tried helical knitting now. It's really, as lots of you described, it's not that difficult. I can do it. I have been trying to change up the yarn so much and I'm still not loving it. And so I had put it to the side once before. I have picked it up again. I had been knitting on it, and now I'm just at that point where I'm like, I can't make like a good decision now. I'll have to put it to the side for a bit longer. I have been focusing on my Esther jacket by Petite Knit primarily at this point in time, but I also have some summer or warm weather making plans within my knitting as well. Some socks that I want to make, and then a few more cardigans, and then a couple hundred more sweaters. So there are so many things that I'm really excited about, and I'm not saying that I won't ever finish that garment. I have been thinking about what other things I would really like in that yarn. First thing that comes to mind are socks, of course. I could hold them double and make socks for myself, maybe even make socks for my mum again. She got some for her birthday last year and she really liked them and she really cherishes them. So she's really knit worthy like that. And she has gotten quite a few knits already from me throughout these last years. But I could make some for Hannah's. Like we could have matching socks. If this like project doesn't work out the way I thought it would, that's okay. That's what I've been feeling more and more. And then I sometimes just need to knit on the things that I really want to have in my wardrobe, rather than just knit on the stuff that isn't kind of nice to look at, or that I like the bare, like the skein of yarn off, kind of. So I've been like getting away from hand-dyed yarn as like the end all be all for garments. That is a gradual change. Like it's not something that just happened. It's something that I've always kind of felt like. I also really like the rustic yarns and really just enjoy knitting with commercial dyed yarns or mill spun yarns, or like any other yarn that you could think of. But yeah, to say that my knitting has been a bit like in a bit of trouble is really, I think, an understatement. I actually frogged 2 projects today. This is kind of like a podcast now, though I'm not showing you the stuff, but I'll put in pictures, and I'm just feeling the flow right now. So I'll possibly just show you whenever I've recast on and I feel like there's something to show. So first thing, I was knitting on my small fry scarf. I don't know what happened, but throughout the project at like 1 or 2 points, I was knitting on it in like a relatively dark airport. So maybe that was the problem. I kind of mixed up the like right and wrong side, and it kind of slanted in the middle, which didn't look really nice, and probably already had this much. And I was working with a Haya by Holst, held single, so a fingering weight, whereas the project calls for the pattern calls for a sport weight. And so I have frogged that since it had been kind of like slanted to the wrong direction. And I'm thinking that I'll just hold the yarn double, because with what I had now, I had only used 10 grams. I had over 40 grams left of my first skein. So I was like, okay, so I was worried in the beginning that if I was to hold it double, I wouldn't have enough of meterage for that project. But I was just watching the Botanical Knitters podcast this morning, Emily's podcast, and she was a tester, I think, for the pattern. She was one of the people kind of to inspire me to make that project. And she showed I think another version or the first version, like she showed a red version that she made. So I'm just picking hair out of my hair. I'm losing so much hair every day, guys. This is, yeah. I mean, everyone is, but I don't know why. I always feel like I'm in shedding season. And she showed it, and she said it was quite kind of modular, not modular, but she said that you could kind of modify it to your own taste. And that's what I did with a barber shawl. And I would say they're relatively similar looking. They're not worked with the same techniques, and like, I don't want to get too much into it. They're relatively similar looking, but I think, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm not here to criticize anyone for making a similar like pattern. There are so many similar looking patterns out there, so well, we won't get into that. It's a lot thinner, like more narrow, the small fry scarf, whereas the barber shawl is like a bit technically like a shawl. But I also shortened up by just a bit because I couldn't be bothered to knit on it anymore, so I changed from increasing to decreasing a bit sooner than the pattern had called for in the barber shawl. So I was like, why couldn't I just do that if I'm running low or like getting towards the halfway point of my higher? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hold the double, I'm gonna retry and cast that on. Thing is, I've had too many projects on my needles where I really need to look at the pattern at all times. With the Esther jacket, I'm getting more and more like in tune with just knitting the pattern in the body. And if I kind of miss a left, like a purl stitch, I can always kind of rip back, or not rip back, but like ladder down and redo it. That's not the problem. I only have to look at the pattern when I'm doing that about like every 3 or 4 rows. So that's okay. But with my small fry scarf and then the traveler shawl that I'm also doing, I was like, I really had to look at the pattern all the time because I was still like so much in the beginning. And for me, even if it's just like a 6 to 10 row repeat or something, just memorizing where and what kind of increases to do, I just can't do it at this point in time. And at some point with the barber shawl, it was like just ingrained to my brain and I could do it without looking at the pattern. But with the other 2 patterns that I just mentioned, I'm just not there yet. So mentioning the traveler shawl, I also ripped that out twice now. I really don't know what happened. It looked so nice. I had like this much done, but there was one part in the pattern where I had done, it looked like there were 3 garter ridges, whereas you were supposed, I think, to have 2. And that bothered me. And it was relatively like early on in the beginning. I ripped back to that point, possibly like this much. And then I couldn't figure out on what row I was at. And like I said, I'm still very much like going row after row. I always like pencil in some small boxes into my pattern and then check them when I have like when I've finished another repeat. And so it was a really like focus knit, and then I just realized that mistake, and yeah, I ripped it back, restarted again, made another mistake. Like I don't even know what the mistake was, but I just wasn't on the right row that I was supposed to be on, and it really frustrated me. Though I was loving knitting with my handspan and seeing how it came out. So I will just have to, sorry, my freezer, my fridge is making weird noises. If you can hear anything, it's either birds outside or a fridge. That is always kind of making funny noises. But yeah, scarf and shawl knitting is just not going how I anticipated it would. And then with the caramel sweater is also not going as I had intended. So I'm taking a pause on some of those things, rip back a few others, and then I've just picked up my sweet shop blanket this morning again, because I had on my birthday evening, actually, Hannes helped me wind so many of my mini skeins to put into the blanket.
And so I was really excited to knit more on that. So I'm just thinking I might aim to do maybe like a square a day or a square every 2 days. I think that's realistic to get a bit more like further ahead on my blanket. That'd be nice. There are so many things I want to cast on. I have swatched for the tessellated cardigan, and the swatch is chef's kiss. It's perfect size. It looks so neat. The like floats. I'm very proud of myself. First time I'm doing the mosaic knitting. But yeah, that'll have to wait at least until I've done the body of my Esther. I think I told myself if I've done the body of my Esther and I'm moving on to button band and sleeves, I can cast on another sweater, because that is, the tessellate is like bottom up, and yeah, I could do that. Then I've also, because there's gonna be a cow that I'm hosting with 2 of my friends, it's gonna be summer related again. I'm not sure if I can like tell you all of the details yet. Whenever this is going up, I'll share in my next video. But we're doing a summer related cow, and I'm knitting another one of Lene Holmes Samso's pattern, another one that was gifted to me, so thank you so much. The peacock tee was already gifted by one of you lovely followers, and then the palm tee as well, so thank you so much. And always I always very much appreciate when I feel like yeah, I kind of feel even closer connected whenever it happens that from my wish list that someone gives me a pattern from my wish list and I then get to cast it on. I really appreciate those gestures and you guys watching. I'm gonna go back on the couch now and possibly knit or read for a bit, or do both. And yeah, I'm looking forward to possibly tomorrow morning. I think I'm just gonna yeah, film another podcast episode, though I've kind of caught you up now on a lot of the things, so maybe this podcast episode is going to be a bit different. I'm going to show you some of the stuff, show you some of my progress, and it's just going to be kind of a very laid back version. So I kind of think that this is the beginning of the podcast actually. So I hope you guys enjoy. I don't know why I'm faffing around with my hair so much. It's probably, I don't know. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.